Hey there, stampers. My name is Sherry Roth. I'm a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator from Alberta, Canada. And welcome to a Slimline Saturday, where every Saturday during the month of September, I am creating a slimline card. So today we're going to do a variation of this card. So I realized the other day, unfortunately, I've needed quite a few sympathy cards. So I wanted to do something that would work as a sympathy card. So I've combined a couple sets to create this fun slimline card. And like I said, we're going to make a few changes because I'm kind of curious to see how it would look with these changes. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. Now, if you aren't familiar with a slimline card, this is a popular trend, and I did a video back towards the end of August that shared all the details of what a slimline card is. So I will link in the description below to that video. But the size of a slimline card is 3.5 inches by 8.5 inches, or you start with a 7-inch by 8.5 inch piece of cardstock and score it at 3.5 inches. Okay, so it ends up, when folded, 3.5 by 8.5. So I've got a piece of gray granite cardstock that is going to be our card base, and then I've got two pieces of whisper white cardstock measuring 3.25 by 8.25. One of them will be for the inside, and one we're going to do some stamping on. Okay, so we're going to start with that. I am using a couple images from the Winter Woods stamp set. So I'm going to use this birch tree image and this pine cone image from this set. So we're going to start with the birch trees. And I'm going to use gray granite ink. And I'm going to ink it up, stamp off, and then stamp onto. This first piece is always this first one is always a little tricky because the cardstock is white on white. Okay, and then I'm going to ink it up, and I'm going to keep repeating this all the way across. Put that away. We don't need that ink anymore. And we don't need that. Okay, so there it is stamped off, and there it is fully inked. So again, it's very subtle. This will dry just a tad lighter. It won't be a huge difference though. Okay, so now we're going to do our greeting. And I really wanted to add some embossing, and I thought it would be nice to emboss the greeting on a piece of vellum and then wrap it around. And I was looking for a greeting that would be appropriate, and I wanted something a little bit longer and narrower. So this greeting from Gorgeous Posies is perfect. Wishing you comfort and peace at this time. So you could definitely use that as a sympathy card. Okay, so I've got my piece of vellum. This piece measures 1 inch by 11, and I'm going to bring in that greeting and some Versamark. But before I do that, I'm just going to take my embossing buddy and wipe it onto my vellum just to remove any oils from my fingers or any static that might be there, so that the embossing powder only sticks where the ink is. And I'm going to use those lines that I can see underneath. Actually, I want to do it over a little bit. I chose to cut this longer so that I can just wrap it around and adhere it at the back. Hopefully that's straight. Looks pretty good. So I can just adhere it at the back, and I don't have to worry about being able to see any kind of adhesive in the front. And now I'm going to bring in some gold embossing powder. And I keep my powder in just these little dishes that I picked up at the dollar store. So I'm just going to generously dump that on there. And then flip it over and flick off the excess. So now my powder is stuck. I use these coffee filters so I can easily just dump it right back in. Okay, So now I've got my heat tool and I'm going to heat it up. Okay, so now I've got this beautiful gold metallic greeting. And this is going to go wrapped around, so I'm going to position it probably about there. Let's line this up. So right around there. I'll fold that over and then make sure that this is straight. Actually, let's do it this way. Okay, that looks like it is about even. So I'll fold this over just like that, and then I can add some adhesive and adhere it. Moved it. Okay, that looks about right. Okay, I'm not too concerned that this buckles up right now, because when we add our embellishments on there, that should adhere it a little bit better. And add a little bit of adhesive back here, and then attach this to the card front, so that I have about 1/8 of an inch all the way around. I love gray granite. It's one of my favorite colors. Okay, so now I've gone ahead and I've taken the In the Woods die. So this die set coordinates with the Winter Woods stamp set. And I've cut several images here. I've cut 2 of the branches, one from Early Espresso and one from Whisper White. And then I cut these leaves from some of our brushed metallic cardstock, and I chose the gold from that cardstock. Okay, so I am going to adhere these. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to trim these, because these are a little bit long. I don't need them that long. And I'm going to put the white one down first. And this time I'm going to put them over here. A little bit of adhesive, and I'll put this guy down. Maybe we'll put this on this side, just like that. And then this one, go on here. A little bit more off to the side. Okay, now I'm going to bring in the little pine cone and some Early Espresso ink, and I'm going to stamp 3 pine cones. Actually, you know what? Let's stamp a few pine cones on the inside too. Okay, there we go. Just decorate the inside just a little bit. Okay, and then there are 2 dies that will cut those out. So I've gone ahead and I've cut those out here. I'm going to grab some mini dimensionals, and I'm going to attach them all using mini dimensionals. Like that. And then I'm going to use some of the Forever, I think it's called Forever Greenery Trim. This is a trim combo pack that you get. You get, I think it's like an off-white colored wider ribbon, and then you get this gold trim as well. And I love this gold trim. I use it quite a bit. But if you watch my videos, you know I'm a baker's twine or linen thread lover. I love to add just a little bow here and there. It's amazing how much a bow can step up a project. Okay, I'm just going to try to figure out. The last one I put kind of in the middle of the pine cones, but this one I'm thinking I might do off to the side. Just trying to figure out where. I think I like it there. Okay. Just stick it on, pull off the mini glue dot, and then I'm going to kind of tuck it underneath. And twist it just a little bit. Okay, and then the other thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to use a little mini glue dot and just slide it under this vellum where all this stuff is, just to hold that vellum down a little bit better. Okay, let's trim this. I love how the ends of this start to fray and separate like that. It just gives it such a soft feel. I love the look of that. All right, so there we go. There's that card, and then here is the original one. And oh, I forgot to put the inside in. Let's do that really quickly. Okay, let's pop this inside here. All right, so I'd love to hear whether you prefer the one with the cluster on the right or the cluster in the middle. So comment below and let me know. And remember that I will have a link to the What is a Slimline card and all of the Slimline posts that I've done, or videos that I've done for the month of September so far, in the description below. And if there's anything that you'd like to order and are in Canada, I would love for you to choose me as your demonstrator. I will have a full supply list listed below. All right, thanks so much for watching.